Hey guys, Moose here. Here in my gallery Array Moose, and as you can see behind me, my beautiful mosaic that I made about a year ago. Um, with the current situation and the pandemic that's going on, I was thinking about making a new one, but I couldn't remember how I made this one in the first place. So I have made a way of doing it, and I thought that I would document it in a video with some commentary so that you guys can see how it's done. Unfortunately, this video does require that you have Photoshop. I tried looking in how to do it with GIMP, which is a free-to-use photo editing system, but I could not find similar tools in GIMP as I did in Photoshop. If there is a way for me to be able to use it in GIMP, I will make a video explaining how to do that with free software. But for now, I only can do it in Photoshop, so I apologize if you cannot afford Photoshop, that this tutorial will be somewhat useless to you. But without further ado, let's jump over to Photoshop and give it a shot. Here we are in Photoshop. This is the original Photoshop document that I used in reference for making my mosaic in my gallery. This is the original image that I used to then to make this. I don't remember what steps I did to go from point A to point B. Just by looking at it, it looks like I darkened the background. I definitely cropped out this matte. It looks like I made I made some highlights. I guess I added some contrast. I don't know exactly what I did um, because that was like a year ago. So, but I sat down and I have figured out how to take this painting, which I'm going to be turning into my next mosaic. It's going to look like this, and I will explain how I went from point A to point B in like 3 simple steps, and I will show you how to do it again with a high resolution image like this one here that this is my own image that I made about 2-3 years ago. So yes, starting off with our image. First thing we want to do is we want to go up to image and image size. Now we want to make sure that our resample is unchecked, and what we want to do is we want to make each inch, well, 1 pixel equal an inch. So pixels per inch, we want 1 pixel for every inch, and this will change the size from being like, I think that was what, back at 72 inches, says at 72 dpi, it was like 14 by 19. We change that to 1. It grows really big, but that's okay because that's what we want to do. Because if we make each pixel 1 inch wide, when we then make the image smaller to fit into a more practical size for our mosaics, it will automatically pixelate everything for us. We won't have to add any sort of extra filter or anything like that. So we're just going to hit OK. And then we're going to go up to image size again, and this time we will select resample. And then since we're making this smaller, as we're going from a large like 1400 down to something much smaller, like a couple hundred, if you want to even go with smaller, you can. You could just use automatic or bicubic sharper. I'm just going to really leave it at bicubic sharper for no particular reason that I want to. And so I already decided for the space within my exhibit is that in my gallery, I want this to be 6 2 meter by 2 meter cubes. So that's going to be 24 individual pixels, and 24 times 6 is 144. So I want the height to be 144. And I'm going to hit OK. It's going to make it really small. And when I zoom in, you can see here that it's already turned out super, super pixelated. Another thing that we can do, just to guarantee that we have done this correctly, is that you can go to your and you can go to your preferences, and you can go to your guides and grids, and if you go to your grid, I'm changed mine to red, and if you put a grid line every 24 pixels with a subdivision of 3, you hit OK, and I will bring up my grid here, is that you have these dark red lines every 24 pixels, which is perfect. So if I zoom in now and I look up here, this would be 2M by 2M, or I believe that's 2 meters by 2 meters in Occupy White Wall dimensions panel. And so this is going to be 1, and then we have another one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So 5 lines, 6 divisions. It's perfect. And going from left to right down the bottom here, it looks like we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half. So it looks like here, this will probably be where we'll put in, it looks like we're going to need a 2 by 50 tile. So we need to make sure we have enough tiles for that within my gallery to finish up. And if it doesn't work out exactly, I might just crop this in smaller so that it will actually fit proportions of a full image. So there we are. We have everything pixelated. Now the only problem is that the colors that we have here in this image do not exist within the ability of the mosaic function in Occupy White Walls. If you ever made a mosaic before, I'm sure you're familiar with these 3 color wheels. I just call it black and the grayscale, saturated, and desaturated color wheels. The grayscale has 8 different colors, and then each of the saturated, desaturated one have 121. Now, for this project, what I have done is I have created Adobe color tables for these individual color wheels, as well as all the color wheels together. So I have one here that's called All Color, which is, of course, all 3 color wheels put together. Then you have All Color Non-Gray, which is the saturated and the desaturated colors together. Then I have just the grayscale, just the saturated, just the unsaturated color wheels. And so what we need to do is we need to get those colors. We need to get these colors here to match the colors in the game, so then we end up something like this. This here is all the colors in this pixelated image here exist within the color of Occupy White Walls mosaic features. To get to that point, what we need to do is we need to go to Image, and we need to go to Mode, and then we need to go to Indexed Color. Now, previously, as it says here, it already shows up all the ones that I already have. But to get to that point, we need to go to Custom, and then we need to go to Load. And at this moment, I can then choose from any of these things. So I will show you real fast what all color looks like. So this is all the colors plus the gray, as you see the gray pop down here at the bottom. So this is all the black, white, gray, and everything in between. I'm going to hit OK here, and then I want to make sure that dither is none. And as you can see in this preview, everything just turns to a mishmash wash of gray, and that's not quite what I want. I want a bit more color and liveliness to it. So what I found is good. I've cycled through all of them, but the one that I found, the one that I liked the most, the one that I thought was the most vibrant, was under Load is the All No, all color with not the gray, so the all non-gray ACT. I load that in. As you see down the bottom, the grayscale went away. I still have white. I still chose to keep black and white just because white is so universal and it's just the furthest outer ring of the grayscale that you don't have to worry about like selecting one of the inner ones. It's just to make it easy. So we hit OK and boom. That's how we got to where we were here. We hit OK, and now this is perfectly that I can go in pixel by pixel and start to put together this mosaic within Occupy White Walls. Okay, so as a review, I'm going to do this one more time, real fast, no cuts, with my image here, amoeba. So go to image, image size. Want to uncheck resample. I want to change this to 1 pixel per inch. I want to hit OK. And then I'm going to go to image, image size again. This time check unsample, and I want to change this to 144 to make it 6 panels by 6 panels within Occupy White Walls. I'm going to hit OK again. Make it small. I zoom in. Perfect. It looks great. Now I need to go to image, mode, index color, and I'm going to choose, well, right now it has chosen all colors but the grayscale, and I think that looks pretty good. It still has the skin tones in there, it still has some skin texture in there. But I want to see what this will look like in grayscale. Let's say I'm just going to change the straight grayscale to match my first mosaic that I have already in my gallery. So I'm going to go to load. I'm going to click my grayscale ACT. I'm going to hit OK, and there we go. We have this. This is what it would look like as a grayscale. The blacks with blacks, the whites are white, everything in between. And that's how you make a template for mosaics in Occupy White Walls. If you have any questions, join the Occupy White Wall Discord server and just give me a ping with a question. I can hopefully be able to help you out in making your next mosaic. Thanks everybody, and good luck out there.